Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to ProTraderPath. I'm back with another video, and this is what on Friday my silver bullet strategy provided. Yeah, I know a lot of people might have already watched it from somewhere else, but the thing is, here is the explanation what I look into during the silver bullet, as I said in my silver bullet strategy video as well. Current price, wherever it is, the sell side of Asia or the buy side of Asia, wherever price is, relative equal lows. Since this is looking like a single week, but I'll explain why I marked that as a sell side as well, because for me and for my observation, for my strategy, what I saw is to retrace from a level, market needs to reach to a certain level. What do I mean by that? It just cannot take a liquidity and go higher or give the opposite move. It needs to reach to a PDRA or premium discount areas where market can retrace from. For example, I have a fair value gap on 15 minutes here. I have a bearish fair value gap above my buy side liquidity levels that market previously respected multiple times. Okay, and this specific week I marked because to reach to the fair value it needs to go below that week, right? Because that's how far the balanced price is, and this is how far the imbalance is. So to retrace or reverse from here, market needs to reach that area and grab that liquidity. Now I don't have any other sort of form of grabbing liquidity as long as it goes below, or as long as it goes below by a tick, or even better if it can go by little more. As long as it goes below that price level, I'm happy to call it a liquidity grab, because when I put my take profit at that level, when market hits that, I get my profit. So when I'm putting a stop loss at that level, when market hits that, I'm stopped out. It doesn't really need to go too far below to stop me out, right? Yes, as I'm saying, if it can go even lower, that's even better. But what I'm saying here is, as long as that's happening, I'm happy to call it a liquidity grab or a take profit grab, whatever you call it. Anyway, so as I said, from the current price, mark the fair value gaps that can send price higher or lower. So market was very close to take the Asia sell side before the silver bullet session, and the only fair value that is possible or that may be responsible to send market higher was this 15 minutes fair value. So this is what I was looking into. And also when marking the buy side, mark the relative equals as well. Now there is this swing high that I completely missed to mark at the very beginning, but when I was in a trade, after closing some partials, as I said, I must close my partials and then I look for possible levels that market can reach in terms of grabbing liquidity, and only then I actually move my stop loss, move my take profit or trail my take profit. Other than that, I keep it as my first observation says, I leave it like that. So unfortunately, when I'm connecting the trading panel, my TradeOvet account, it's not showing the position there, so that's why I had it recorded, and I'm going to give you guys that this is where I entered 1:2. My first partial I have set it here, although I closed one lot here, another lot right at this 1 minute's bearish fair value, or the first fair value of 1 minute, because I was expecting some sort of reaction from this fair value, so I put it another lot just couple of ticks above so that I can grab that much. And then you see the other one is right around that 15 minutes bearish fair value. I moved it little higher later on, but let me go step by step. Okay, so this is the position I took. So stop loss, since it's a huge candle, stop loss at the low of the candle that I put, and I believed that market won't break and come lower of this huge fair value gap. On the other hand, this displacement is something that I want to see before entering into a trade. Like, I love this sort of displacement candles, that one single candle created a huge fair value gap over there. Okay, so yeah, so that one single candle created a huge fair value, so I didn't had to think much about putting my stop loss. So that's my stop loss, currently at a certain amount of profit, partial at 1:2, what I always target, and then leaving the rest of the position as runner. As simple as that. And since I said I closed it in different levels, I will give you where exactly I closed. Okay, two things I want to talk here. That's the swing high that I missed, so I put my last sell. As you can see, like, I have already took partials, and the last one I put right at that swing high, and that one was hit as well, so I got my profit. Although the other buy side level that I have marked was actually hit later on after retracing, or whatever it is. Now here is one thing that I want to show. You see this inducement line that I have written? I will show you what happened right after taking this liquidity. Okay, so I will explain the rest of the thing in reply mode. I hope you will be able to see that. So yeah, on the 15 minutes chart, before silver bullet starts, I marked the Asia sell side and the relative equal, which in this case the fair value gap candles low. And you may ask why this is not a swing low or something, but why you marked it in 1 minute? That's actually, that looks something like this. Okay, so that's the low that I was marking on the 15 minutes. Now, as I said, to come to the 15 minutes fair value, it needs to go below that level, so that's why I marked it by a tick, whatever it is, I don't mind. But as long as it comes below that level, that's the fair value retest. At the same time, liquidity grab from this low. So yeah, let's see what happened in the market right after taking that liquidity. So as you can see, around this level it tapped by one tick. I don't mind seeing that, as long as it went below, that's good enough. Okay, I hope you can see that. Now you can see. And where is the Asia buy side and sells, other relative equal buy sides? Those are there. Now during the silver bullet, this is where market moved like crazy. Okay, so the first thing is, I was looking for a break of structure around this area. Okay, why this area? This is a clean swing low for me. I don't care of what other things. Two candles on the right, two on the left is good enough for me to call it a fractal low or swing low. At the same time, I got other major levels liquidity grab, and that's the swing high. Market traded above that with a huge displacement candle. So on the next retracement candle, I'm already in a trade. Like, by this candle I'm already in a trade. I didn't even wait for the fair value retest, because I know that the next candle, since it failed to even come at the 50% level of this candle, next candle may shoot higher without retesting. Although it retested the fair value by a tick, that's how much time you got to enter into a trade from the fair value. That's why I entered early. Also, if you know from my previous video that I look into a certain thing, you see this specific candle, when this candle took this Asia sessions liquidity, this level is very important. Also, it's the same candle that took the liquidity from this swing low. So when market was trading above that and close above that at this certain level, I know by a fact that if I get the bullish setup, that will be my high probability setup. Why? Because that's what indicates the change in a state of delivery. That's exactly what happened during that silver bullet session. And also, in my recording, you will see me drawing this mean threshold of the lowest down close candle, order block, however you call it. Mean threshold respect perfectly over there before moving higher. So everything was aligning with my strategy. So by now I'm already in a trade, and it looks something like this. From here, swing like a stop loss at this low rather than putting here, targeting first partial around 1 to 2, whatever it is, something around this area. I closed one lot, another lot I closed around this area because of that 1 minute's first fair value gap that may hold the price for a bit and then send higher, so I didn't wanted to risk my profit just just because of that. And once it's closed, I'm in huge profit already by now, and I moved my stop loss higher. Anyway, I'll explain one by one. So this is where I entered. Market started going higher. The final lot, initially I targeted this 15 minutes bearish fair value. Then, as I said, this swing low was most obvious rather than that straight away, so I just targeted to that swing low, swing high, this one, since it's very close to each other. And this is what it looks like, exactly what you will see me doing. So the whole trade, yes, why I don't keep my entire position, because if I kept the entire position, I took 3 lots of entry, as you saw from the recording. If I kept it all, yes, the profit could have been like a huge amount, but I don't really worry about that. In 6 days of trading from the combined challenge stage of this specific 100k account, in 6 days I made over 10.2k. okay, so first 3 days, it's not even 3 days, 3 sessions, in 3 days I got 6,000 plus and passed the challenge. And after getting the credential within 3 days, in between one day I didn't trade. I was very tired and not feeling well to sit in front of the desk and trade, so I didn't trade in between that week. So otherwise it could have been 4 days of funded account trading. However, I have shared everything. If you haven't watched it, I will share one more time or show you guys one more time. But what I was saying is, in 6 days I made over 10.2k by trading. Okay, so I really don't need to target big with entire lots or entire position that I have. I prefer closing partial. I told you guys why closing partial is the most important thing, and not just any certain level at 1 to 2 especially. Why 1 to 2? If you close your 50% of position, you are already in profit, and whatever it is, the risk, it's reducing by 50%. So let's say you are risking $1,000, 1 to 2 is giving you $2,000 of profit. If you close 50%, that's your $1,000 profit. And when you had $1,000 in risk, now you have only $500 in risk. So if market after hitting this comes and stops you out, you don't even move your stop loss to break even or higher, even if it stops you out at that certain level, you will still be profited by $500. So that's why closing partial at 1 to 2, not any certain level, at 1 to 2. Yes, you can close even lower, like 1.5 or something, as long as it's not at 1:1, because that will turn it into a break even. Even maybe the commission or fees that you are paying, you will lose that specific part. So that's why I say at least try to take partial at whatever level you are comfortable with, let's say 1.5 or something. So that will still give you around $250 worth of profit after even losing here. So yes, whatever you do it in your way. This is something that you have to figure out what works best for you. So anyway, that was the entry. I closed partial at 1 to 2, one lot. Another lot I closed around this area, and the final lot I took my all profit at this area, although I was expecting market to go there, and eventually that happened. But what I was trying to show you is this specific fair value. When market tapped into that fair value with that single swing, a single candles wick, and started going higher, I marked it as inducement, and you saw me marking that. Okay, let me just put it so that you don't get confused. I took it in 3 steps. There is a reason behind that. I had 3 lots. If I had 4 lots or 2 lots, I might have closed one at this specific fair value gaps low and keep the other one for here. But since I had 3 lots, I took it in 3 different stages. Okay, so altogether my trade looked something like 1:3 point something. It was over 1:4 point something, the total trade, if I'm not wrong. Like the total one is 4.09, but since I took partial, it looked something like this. Okay, so let me just bring out the calculator before any controversy comes in. So 2 plus 2.76 plus that one is 4.09. so this is what the total trades PNL looks like. Divide by 3, this is where I actually got all my profit. Okay, so around this level, that's where all my 3 lots average take profit was by closing partial. Yes, I'm giving up on this much, it's a good amount, but as long as I'm doing this, I'm not seeing any losing days. That's the most important thing. Okay, anyway, I marked this as an inducement, and I believe that market will eventually come lower to take this liquidity. So as I said, that was the take profit. I will remove the positioning tool to make the chart clear, and this is how far market came. One more time, made that inducement even stronger of a target for later retracement. So let's see when. Okay, so I'm already in my profit. Market hit that 75.75 level, which was the previous buy side or nearest buy side that I marked. It created equal high over there. So once it takes this inducement, I will extend the lines so that you can understand what I'm saying. Once it takes the inducement, look what happens. Okay, so I'll just remove all these to make things less complicated, and this is still the breakaway gap, like one tick into the gap and market started shooting higher. So that's still there. Look, it came here, it's now going higher. So let's see how far it went. It went to take that liquidity, now it's coming lower. Okay, and that's the 15 minutes bearish fair value, the negative fair value. Okay, now this specific thing happened and I marked everything out. Yes, I could get more profit out of it, as long as, like I'm saying every time, right, I'm not considering becoming millionaire in a day or two. Okay, that's not my goal or vision. I'm here to play the long game, and this is how it looks like. Okay, the things that I said. So that's the funded, that's the challenge account. 1 2 3 3 days complete, 100% winning days. Okay, not trades, days. $6,015 in profit, and this is where it's confirming that I passed the challenge. You already saw that most probably. This is the TradeOver Express account, the same account, $4,225.92 in profit. Average win is $1,400 per day. Worst day is $1,000 profit, which was the day I got my account. I just traded the PM sessions silver bullet for maybe a very short moment. Okay, that's why, and I didn't even risk 1%. It was somewhat around $330 or $45 worth of risk. So whatever the profit is, it looks like that. Total winning days of 200 plus, total 3 done. How many days I traded? 3 days. That's how many you are seeing here. Scaling plan currently at 10, because I completed, like my account balance is over 3,000 now. So now I can trade 10 contracts, although I'm not willing to do that, as long as that's what my 1% is suggesting. This is 100k express funded account, started 9th January. I traded 1 2 3 days, 100% winning days, and whatever you saw, 4,220 something in profit. That's how far I reached. I didn't trade anything in between. There is not a single losing day in my trading. Okay, so what I do is I make sure that I'm grabbing the profit first and then being greedy for higher runs and whatever. I as I said, I marked it earlier. If you don't trust it, let me show you one last time before I end my recording, when that happened and when I marked. This is when I marked, like it's already on my chart, right? When market was going higher, I already have that inducement level on my chart, partial taken, everything you can see over here. Okay, and that's where the first take profit I put, but later on I moved it a little higher to, you know, grab the relative equal high over there as well. Anyway, so when market came here and it created that clear exact equal high, I could easily look for another entry around this area. If not here, when market going higher, went above that swing high, gave you a break of structure over there. This is first fair value, this is your second fair value. Market retested here, started going higher. So entry from here, keeping the stop loss below the first fair value gap or even the mean threshold level, whatever it is, I could simply target that for another entry. I didn't consider that because I want to end the day like what I have. I'm trying to improve, guys, every day. Doesn't matter, I'm profitable, I'm funded, I'm requesting payout from prop firms. I don't really care about that. All I care about is, let me give you this. Okay, no, let me first show you, then I'll give you. The thing is, when market was, let me just remove this. When market, like the 8:30 news happened here, okay, the 8:30 news happened, I draw this fair value gap, I know where market is heading. I had another level of buy side liquidity here and there, okay, from the 15 minutes. It's not from anywhere else, because 8:30 happened on this candle. As you can see, that's the PPI or CPI news candle, the 15 minutes fair value where market currently is. Let me remove everything else. Let me just mark what I wanted to show you guys. This liquidity and this liquidity are the most obvious level that price can go for, and this is the liquidity that I was expecting market to take. But since it's a huge week, I would consider looking into the 50% level as my target, as my maximum target. Okay, like the maximum I can trail my take profit is until the 50%, the CE. Okay, I'll just mark it CE, and you know all other levels are buy side liquidities. Before that, what happened, I will explain that as well. But let's go, like when the news time happened, before that there are a lot of other sales, like lot of other setups, entries. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but yes, there are a lot of other, like liquidity grab. This high already took liquidity from its left, Asia session buy side, all other things. So liquidity grab, your market structure shift, you have multiple fair values over here. So simply look into from the high to low, wherever the OTZ or OTE aligns, you see that that's the fair value. You want to focus like this part of the fair value especially, and the upper fair value of that, okay, whatever aligns inside of your 6.2 and 7.9 level. So that is where market came. Market started coming lower. If you didn't take this entry, what happened right here is a break of structure. And okay, I'm looking into the other part. I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it's the New York AM session silver bullet setup. Yeah, so when I was talking, since I was not here during the New York AM session silver bullet, I would consider this is my inducement liquidity. Market gave me another break of structure over here. Now look where exactly market came, although I didn't look into it before, but this is where market came. Okay, before this was the low, so it didn't tap into your OTZ. This is the lowest market came. So now you extend that OTZ level to this low. Now it's retracing to that level. Okay, when you see the low and then market starts to retrace, you extend your OTZ from this to this. So the first moment, if you didn't consider this break of structure, just this swing low or something that you are looking into, this is where your OTZ aligning, you didn't get your entry filled over there because it didn't reach to that far. But the next one here is pretty clear. Also this swing low is something you should not be looking if you are looking into this break of structure. So yeah, this is the lowest market came from the high to the low, and that's your OTZ level. That's exactly where market came and then delivered for the sell side, even though you have a huge 15 minutes fair value sitting here and the 1 minute fair value. So this is the New York AM session from the low to high, because you remember all these move happened after. Okay, so this is where market came in the discounted area, buy a little, buy a tick. So first fair value, second fair value, market tapped into that area, then started going higher during the news moment. Okay, so let me just remove the OTZ line. I'm going very quick. If you can't understand, I'm sorry about that. So this is what market was doing during the news time. Now you can see this is a clear liquidity grab market structure shift. Okay, so what I'm saying, although this is what I call the inducement liquidity, however in the lower time frame you got your liquidity market structure at this level. So this is where you have your typical ICT 2022 model that is happening. So market created that W pattern or whatever you call it, the buy setup. It created multiple fair values, but what you look into is the number 1 and the number 2, which market previously tapped, went higher, then came again back to the number 1 or the breakaway gap area. It went higher, took all these liquidities or these relative equals. Before the news time, it revisited one more time. It took all these liquidities, gave you market structure shift here, here, wherever you mark it with one single news candle. This is the news candle. Okay, now I was not willing to take a trade, that's why I didn't take this trade. Otherwise this trade I could take and it could have given me a huge shit ton of profit. Okay, now I told you guys I'm not here to be profitable or millionaire in a day or a week or a month. Okay, I'm here to play the long game. As long as I'm on the right path, I'm reading the price correct, that's okay. Now I will give you my entry first and the stop loss first. So this is something that I targeted, and now this is where I would enter. Now another thing is, when market was here, when market traded from this specific area, I wanted to enter into one more, like this is my imaginary trades. Okay, don't get me wrong. What I'm saying here is, when I'm reading the price, I'm imagining the market like this. Why I didn't enter, there is another reason. You see that stop loss, it's, even though it's in 1 minute, it's still too much. Every handle or every peep here is $20 worth. So this is $430 or even little more when I will draw all the levels, when the entry will make sense to you guys. This is too much to put a stop loss. Why I'm putting here, I will explain that in a second as well. That's my observation and the power of observation. Now the second entry that I would take would look something like this. Okay, now why exactly I'm targeting the lowest area that market reached and then went higher, why the lowest area then reached higher, it's gonna make sense in a second. Okay, and I think I put the similar target with something like 3.6 or something, the risk to reward. This was a good area to enter, to be honest. Why I'm saying good area to enter is, this stop loss was reasonable, somewhat reasonable, 11.25. this is reasonable. To take one lot, I need to risk only $225 or something. Okay, $225. So this is reasonable rather than this. This is like $430 worth of risk for one lot. Okay, so this is why I was not willing to take here or enter here, although I knew where market is heading, but I didn't enter because of the size of the stop loss. This was a good one. I didn't still consider, since I was in profit and called it a day for my specific moment. And also another thing is, New York was opening, so I don't want to see this sort of things happening to me first and then market going higher. Anyway, what I'm saying here is why this. Let's start from the first entry that I'm expecting or suggesting that I would enter from here. If you remember every single video, what did I tell you guys is, when I see a huge fair value, I will try to enter from 25% level. So let's see where the 25% level is. Is it aligning with my entry? Look, I didn't even calculate it before. I just put it randomly just by mapping it with my eyes, and that's exactly the 25%. So this is where I would enter. Now why a stop loss here? Why not below this or this? This is a huge fair value, and my belief is if market wants to go lower, it needs to first close below the 50% level, and if it closes below the 50% level, I would easily consider this as a losing entry, and I will consider that market is not going higher. The reason behind that is it's a huge fair value. Okay, it's completely unusual fair value. Number two is, where did I put my stop loss? Just a tick or two below the 75% level. Now this won't make sense to you guys if I don't show you what I'm showing here. Okay, okay, did I call it here? Did I call it here? Yes, I took the screenshot when market already is going higher. But if you don't trust the process, that's up to you. Now I don't know why it's opening in the painting or something. Now look here, what did I pointed? And where is market trading? Here, the second, the inducement, everything. Have you seen this? I called this a inducement. So when market is coming lower, it's gonna go higher after taking that inducement and reaching that certain level, which I said 25% level. You see that? Now see, like, this is the buy side liquidity nearest. I'm not saying there is no more buy side. This is the nearest buy side. I put my take profit here, but when, I don't know why it's actually opening in painting. Hold on, coming. What is my third screenshot? Okay, so the third screenshot is actually on my phone. So since it's on my phone, let me just send it to one of my ID from my phone, and then I will show you guys what exactly I targeted and why I targeted. Oh yes, I now know. There is this fair value that I was hoping that if market want to retrace, this is where market can retrace from, possibly, and I moved my take profit right below that. So this is what the both entries would look like. And since I sent the mail to myself, I will open it in front of all of you so that you guys can see I'm not fishing or I'm not doing anything over there. So this is what my entry was looking like during that specific moment. Okay, this is not the entry I took. I'm saying this is how I read the market, even though when I'm not trading. Okay, all I'm saying is this is how I read the market, and this is how, if I'm not trading, I try to calculate or figure out the moves. Okay, so if you are learning or if you are still trying hard, just focus on what the strategy you are starting with, or whatever the ICT PDRs you are mastering. Focus on that. Must take notes or journals that how many of it was correct and how many of it was losing trades. If you were in the trade, what gonna happen is these sort of things will help you in future to execute, to improve, to be confident about your setups. I hope you got some idea about how I look into the market and how I trade, or even though when I'm not trading, how I try to read the price action. If that's helpful to you, let me know, and until next time, take a very good care of yourself and your health. Bye bye.